Hello Professor, I am Jalpala Khani and today I am going to present you social media API. So you can see that here is my table of content. In table of content, the first one is social media platform. So what kind of social media that we use for our application or for our assignment that we discuss in this section. And the second one is language and tools for the implementation. What kind of language that I choose for this application and what kind of tools that are comfortable for us to use that we discuss in this section. And the third one is data model. You can see that what kind of data that you need to send to the social media like a Twitter and Reddit to get the data from that, and what kind of data you can get from that, like a timeline data, tweets, all these things. What kind of data that you get from that social media that we discuss in this section. And the fourth one is dashboard overview. So how your applications deployment is look like, how your deliverables is look like what is the basic designs of your dashboard. We will discuss in this section. And the fifth one is Twitter and tweet with the coding. In this section we will go through this all the coding, how Twitter post is worked and how we posted our tweets on the Twitter account, and we see that we cross check that we will get that data or not. And same thing with the Reddit. We go through this coding, how our coding it works on a Reddit section, and we post on our Reddit account through our application, and then later we check that. And the next slide is implementation tools. Here I use the Visual Studio. I use the C# language and I'm comfortable with the Visual Studio, so I use for the application I created in a Visual Studio. And the next one is MySQL. I stored all the tweets and the post of Reddit on my SQL database. So I did all the storing in MySQL, and MySQL is comes with a very features, and it's really convenient to use that. And then I hosted this application on AWS. The next one is data model. Here you can see that I use the Twitter and a Reddit. In a Twitter, we have this kinds of data. The first one is ID. ID is a unique feature, so you can differentiate your data through the ID. And the second one is tweet URL. All the tweets are online, so you can get the URL of your tweets. And the third one is full text. Full text is nothing. It's your text of your tweets. You can get you can tweets, how are you, hello. This is the text that is your tweets. And the fourth one is retweet counts. In the tweets, we have a features that anyone can retweet your tweets. So we can count, we can get the count of that, how many times your tweets are retweeted. And the next one is created by the name, in which you can get the name of who is created your tweets. The Reddit, in a Reddit you have a ID, and Reddit have features of a subreddit. ID is the same thing, like you can differentiate your data through your Reddit ID. And the third one is title. Title is nothing, it's your post that you posted on your Reddit account. And the third is created. Created has a variable is date time, so it's what kind of what is the date of your post and what is the exact time of your post. The next one is dashboard of your Twitters and Reddit. The first picture shows the how your application is look like on the browser. The first in this blank area you can type your codes, and then by clicking on the post button you can posted your tweets on your Twitter account. So this is the basic thing that's it's look like our application. And the next one is a Reddit. In the Reddit, same thing is like in this blank area you can type your post, and then by clicking on the post button you can posted your Reddit post on your accounts. We will discuss all this thing in a detail in the later section when we are explaining the coding. This the sixth slide is Twitter tweets code. This is the like scraping code, how your tweets, how your application is work with the getting the Twitter data, and how you are tweet through your application on the Twitter account. We will see in a detail in my Visual Studio. So the first thing is this is my project assignment 2, and the As I mentioned, this code is start with a startup file. So this is my, sorry for that. So this is my startup file. You can see that the startup file, it's like maintain how the project works, and it's end with a controller. So if I go in the controller, so first we go through the Twitter. You can see that in my Twitter account, we can start from this index async. It calls this Twitter class. If we go through the Twitter class, you can see that this is the all the credential that we need to connect with our Twitter account. You can get all this credential by creating the demo project on your Twitter console account. And this is my all the credential. You can see that in a Twitter util. I stored this all the data in Twitter util file. So you can see that this is all the data, like API key, API secret, API token secret, and barrier token. Barrier token is the one kind of token because token has a multiple types, username and user ID. And if I go back on my Twitter file, you can see that by using this data, we can connect to our Twitter accounts. And the next function is get user tweets. So by using this function, you can get all your tweeters. Here I pass the argument username. So I get all the data of this username, and I get all the tweets in this variable result. And then I applied the for each loop, so I can get all the data one by one, and then I can store all this data on my database. So you can see that here I get all the data, and then I apply for each loop, and I stored all this data in the tweets list. You can see that. And then I stored all this data on my database by using the save data function. You can see that here is the arguments of tweets. This is the field with all the tweets of my account. And then I stored all the data on my database uh, by using this DB object, and I inserted all the tweets of my accounts in this database, so I can retrieve all the tweets of my account. And same thing we can say that in for the Reddit. If I go on the Reddit, you can see that this is my get my post. It has also one Reddit class. It calls here in a Reddit controller. Mm. So if I'm going in this, you can see that you can, as like a Twitter credential, you can also get the app ID and secret from the from your Reddit account. So I get app ID and secret, and by using this app ID and secret, I can also generate the token. In some of case, we need the token to connect with that. So I put the condition that we need a token or not, or our token is generated or not. So by using this credential, I connected with my Reddit account. And when I get successful connection, then I can get all the posts that I needed. So same thing like a tweet, I get all the posts by using this function, and I store it on a result variable, and then I applied the for each loop, so I can get one by one my all the data, and I store it on a list post list. And then I store this list on my database by using this save data function. So you can see that this is the save data function that I used. And then I stored all the posts in this database. You can see that. And if I will show you this thing, you can see that this is the basic thing that how my dashboard is look like. So you can see that this is the pop-up of Reddit. You can see that the create post, the text we can see on our dashboard, and the one is submit button. So it has a click function. So by clicking on that, you can trigger any of action. So this is the design that we want to modify on our dashboard. You can control through all your design by this index file. And same thing happened with a Twitter. Like this is the for the Twitter design, the make a tweet, and then you have also button of post, so you can post your tweets on your accounts. And the one thing is for the Twitter, you can Twitter. I use the Twitter NV file. I will show you this thing. This Visual Studio has for the connection of with the Twitter, I use the Twitter InV library to connect with the Twitter, and for the Reddit, the Visual Studio gives the inbuilt Nugget package for the Reddit to connect with it. So this is the library that we use for our coding. And if I run my application, you can see that this is the Twitter, and if I want to tweet it like hello assignment to demo. So now I'm going to post it. So you can see that I posted, and if I have already logged in on my Twitter account, so you can see that if I'm going to refresh it, so you can see that this is my tweet, hello assignment 2 demo. It's just above the 40 second. So I tweeted this data, and this is all the tweet that I did. So if I go back, so by clicking this function, get my tweets, you can get all the tweets that I stored on the database. So you can see that this is my tweets, hello assignment to all the tweets that I go. And so now going back to the browser, you can see that I can also truncate this all the data on the database. So if I clicking on this truncate data, it is all the data from the database. And now if I go on the Reddit, you can see that this is my Reddit dashboard. And if I want to create the post, you can see that mm, Reddit sorry, Reddit demo assignment post. So I'm posting that to my account, and if I'm going to check on my account, you can say that this is my Reddit account, and if I'm refreshing it, it says you can see here Reddit demo assignment post. And now I'm going to back. You can see that if I'm refreshing this get my post, so you can see here your post, demo post. See, you can see your post here from the database Reddit demo assignment post. And by truncate, same is like a Twitter. If you click on this truncate, it erases all the data from the database. So I'm clicking on the truncate data. So it erases the data from the database, and that is the all the feature that I got. And if this is my database, you can see that this is my database that is already running. You can see that here I stored all the data in this thing. This is all the title and all this thing that I get back from the Twitter. Get back from the Twitter. You can get back from the Reddit account. This is my post that I stored on the data, and this is the same thing with the Twitter. You can see that this is the all the tweets and with the time durations and language, media count of the retweet, and all this thing you can see here. And if I'm going back to my slide, you can see that this is the Twitter tweets code. That is same thing that we are discussed in the Visual Studio, and this is the credential that we all already discussed. And this is the design file that we have to modify uh, as per our choice. And this is the same thing that we are for the Reddit. This is the thing that how can we get our Reddit post through our coding and nugget packages. This is this Reddit credential, app ID, and secret that I store in my util files. And this next one is Reddit index design file. This is the same design file that I show in the dashboard. And this is my references and link, my YouTube link. Sorry, I forgot to do this. and hosting URL and my reference. I will change this YouTube link when I'm uploading this PPT or video on that. And this is my references. And thank you guys. I hope you can enjoy.